What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So something I did want to talk about today here in Motorfest, I would probably say is easily one of the most requested options, even to this day here in the game. We're basically 1.5 years in, and I still see more comments about this pretty much over a lot of other things. That is going to be the colored wheel options and new wheels in the game. Now, I am going to have a small theory of why I think there might not end up being new wheels in the game, or at least colored versions of them. I probably am wrong, but it's kind of just going to be a theory from what I have been noticing with the game here. But an example of this, though, is going to be with the Koenigsegg Jesko. I probably said that wrong, Jesko, but you guys can probably see the custom wheels on this car here. Now, if we move over a bit, you're then going to see those, which is going to be very similar colored to something like this, though, which is going to be the chrome wheel option that's basically on everything. Now, here's the thing, though. If I back out and move over to one of my favorite cars ever, which is going to be the Bugatti Chiron Supersport Divine Edition, love this car. As you can see, I have 11,000 miles with this, so I think I've driven this thing a good amount. But you can't change anything on this vehicle besides the base color of it. But one thing that stood out to me with this car is going to be the wheel color there, which is going to be fully white, which you cannot get on any of the vehicles in the game. Now, I do understand this is going to be a special vehicle. I think it was a Motor Pass car, if I remember right. I think it was. But either way, though, the rims are going to be fully white on this one. The thing is, though, if I back out of this, then move over to the regular 300 Super Sport, head over to the visual part. Let's go over to the rims here. Now, I'm sure you probably noticed these wheels right here are pretty much going to be the same ones on the Divine Edition, but they're going to be a nice black color, and the B is also going to be orange in the middle. Moving over to the next rim is also going to be a nice colored finish. We're then going to have, like, I think that's like an alloy type of finish there. That is probably going to be the same type of color as the rims in the game. Then we're also going to have this finish on the rims, and then also those, so you can't get the ones in white, which I would say players might end up wanting to color these in white because that would look kind of dope. But that's also going to fall into the fact that we can't color wheels like these right here because you can't get any of the rims to look like that finish. Now, I'm probably going to guess right now and say maybe they were aiming for something different with that. Maybe they were trying to do something different to where maybe the rims look unique. But then again, though, the rims are also going to be the same ones from the Crew 1, which is still insane to me. And the same colors, by the way, even in the Crew 2. But as I did say earlier, though, I have a small theory on why I think you can't actually paint the wheels, which, to be honest, I would probably say is wrong. But it's kind of where I'm guessing aiming at this point with how things are with the wheels and everybody asking for this long and it's still not a thing. The first vehicle I do want to talk about here is going to be the Bugatti Veyron Deep Blue Edition. Before we do say anything, yes, this is going to be an old Summit car in the game, which is now going to be available, similar to pretty much every other Summit car. But you guys see the rims there? Those are going to be a beautiful bright blue color. I would love to paint my wheels something like that with other vehicles, but only on this car can you do this, at least because it's going to be a Summit vehicle. You can't even change anything on it, as you can see. Spamming my X button, I can't change that, but it is going to have a beautiful blue color on the wheels there. I feel like players probably look and really notice things like this and probably wish they can paint the cars like this themselves, right? But what I find insane about this is just maybe there's going to be a small possibility on the reason why we can't paint the rims is because if we could, maybe a lot of the Summit cars in the game would be a tad too similar to the base vehicles. Now, again, I know this is probably going to be a wrong way to look at this theory here, but I do feel like in ways it kind of does make sense, though. We all do know the Deep Blue Edition here is going to have really nice painted blue rims. Another version of this car right now, guys, here's the regular Navara here, which I do understand the green's not going to be the same. We're also then going to have the Time Attack, which you are going to notice the beautiful green rims on this vehicle. So if we head over to the Navara, which I do understand this isn't completely matching it, but whoever made this probably could make it a tad lighter on green. This thing would be so dang close to it. Either way, though, on this car, though, if you were to do the visual part and head over to the rims, wheels, rims, tomato, tomato, all you could do is this color here, which is the ones I currently have on it. You're then going to have this color, which again is like the alloy type of chromish finish, I guess. Kind of like an alloyed color, I would say, or like an alloy finish. Then we're going to have a really nice matte black finish, which again, you can't even get this on pretty much any of the other rims in the game. Then we're going to have the regular rims here, which you can see how terrible these kind of look. Heading back over to the other rim, though, this is the one I again have active. Now, the thing is, though, if we head back over to the other Navara, which is going to be the Time Attack Edition, Head over to Vanity. Let's overview this one and zoom it in a bit. Check this out, guys. Look at those wheels right there. So those are going to be a beautiful green color on the wheels. Imagine some of the things you can do with the wheels in this game if you can legitimately paint them. I do know in Need for Speed, for example, you can also paint these stock wheels on the cars, which is pretty dope. I'm going to guess right now and say maybe it's going to be a licensing issue on why they can't. I really don't understand it. Now, the thing is, though, when I was looking at some of these cars, like, for example, I do understand the Nevera Time Attack Edition is going to be a real version of the vehicle. I get it. But the thing is, though, that still doesn't separate the fact that these wheels are going to be painted. And if we could really paint the wheels on the regular car, well, we can all agree, guys, how close they're really going to look. For example, here's this one, and then look at the next one. Like, you can tell they're probably going to be incredibly similar. Like, yeah, there is going to be details on this car that's going to set it apart. Like, for example, maybe the seats and stuff, some of the green bits and all that. But you could probably tell if you could color it, it would end up being very similar. Now, let me go back over to this way here. Another example is also going to be this Bugatti here. You guys can see the color of the wheels on this vehicle. I'm guessing that's the only rim there. So those are going to be the color of the rims on this car, which when looking at this though, I would probably guess right now other players probably want to have the option to have a type of rim color like this. I mean, for example, you can also see like the sparkling of the color of the wheels. Like that's going to be really cool. I would love to be able to add that to different vehicles, like maybe a lowrider. But if we click on this though, let's go over to wheel color and try to make it gold. Yeah, that's not going to really work, guys. Look how terrible these wheels look. And yeah, there's going to be other wheel options. Like, sure, they're all going to be pretty much the exact same thing. Click on these here, wheel colors again. Like, look at this. These legit look so bad, man. Like, it's just kind of annoying because you basically can only use these stock wheels on every vehicle, because I highly doubt many players are going to want to have something like this being colored that way on pretty much any car in the game. Now, what's funny about this, though, there's another example I got for y'all that is going to be a Street Tier 2 vehicle. Specifically, it's going to be a Mazda. Let me reset this. Street Tier 2. Let me go to brand and head over to Mazda real quick. Mazda, I believe it's the Shiro Gain Edition, I think it's called. Well, here's another example, guys. The RX-8 right here is going to be the Thunderwave Edition. Look at the wheels on this car, for example. Look at those. That's a nice kind of like matte black, I guess you could say, finish almost, or at least a nice painted color with the blue things that match it. That's going to be pretty dope. Like, why can't we do small details like that? I do understand that. Yes, this is not going to be Need for Speed, but that would be so dope, man. I would love to be able to paint my wheels. Okay, here's the Shiro Gain, Shiro Gone, tomato, tomato. Either way, though, let's head over to this and go over to, I guess that's a good view of it. And I also have no idea why I'm running these tires on this car. Kind of odd. They also don't really fit it that well. But either way, though, look at the finish on these wheels, guys. Look how nice these look. It's going to be a really nice black finish. I bet you so many players would love to be able to do this stuff to pretty much the other rims in the game. Like, I gotta admit this. They do not have to add new wheels to the game. I understand there's going to be licensing stuff. And I'm probably going to guess right now and say they're most likely not going to pay to be able to have the rims added. So just at least let us be able to finish rims like those and really paint them and not look like that, for example, because those do not look that great. Let me head back over to Hypercar now. Let me reset the filters, head over to Hypercar. There is one more vehicle I did want to show here that I think it was the Lamborghini Revolto. Probably be easier if I did it this way, huh? I don't know why I'm like flying through all of them. Here's the Revolto. There we go. Head over to visual. Guys, this car has a lot of rims, or at least 5 of them. And there's also one more car, including that's going to be pretty dope. And in fact, it is going to be the Azus, which is the Ivory Tower vehicle. So here's the first wheel on this one. Then we have that one, which is the one I'm running. Looks so dang great with the green. We're then going to have the fully blacked out wheel there, and so on to like the alloy finish. We have the blackish finish there, which looks pretty dope. Think that is. Thought I was tripping out seeing purple in that, but I think I am tripping out. Then we have the black finish on those. Another black finish that's kind of like an alloy mix, and that's going to be like the black finish. You guys can probably see where I'm getting with this though. Like some of the cars or most of the vehicles, you are probably going to be running the regular stock wheels on them because the other wheels in the game just legit look that awful. So here's the Ivory Tower Azus here. Heading over to this, guys, I was kind of surprised when I saw this. Check this out. There's going to be 5 other wheels. Look at these, for example. These look dope. Then we're going to have these after that, which is like a little bit different. Then we're going to have those, which is like a nice alloy finish. Then we're going to have these, which is going to have a nice black finish and the alloy pieces behind it or next to it. Then we're going to have these, which is going to have a very cool, I'm thinking that's forged, I believe, right? That is forged carbon on that. Okay, did not even notice that before either. That's going to be forged carbon with the other pieces like a nice alloy. Those are actually kind of dope. Then we're going to have this rim as well, which is also going to have a nice black finish. Now imagine for a quick second, guys, if again we could paint wheels like this. Imagine being able to do like a forged carbon type of thing or like a carbon type of wheel on your vehicle. Wouldn't that be dope, man? Like, I'm kind of confused on why none of that is a thing. And in fact, there was a hypercar that many players probably do have right now, or at least they probably wanted it. Hopefully people that did actually want it did end up getting it, but that's going to be the Zenvo, which is going to be right here. Guys, this is going to have fully carbon fiber wheels. I know other cars have it, but this is going to be a good example of this. Wouldn't you all like to do little things like this to your vehicle? Like, I do understand they're probably going to have licensing issues with new wheels, but you know what? Let us at least be able to have different materials, do like carbon, forged carbon, real actual colors on these wheels would be so dang dope, man. I had to talk about this because I would legit say I've seen a lot of people saying this stuff on Discord. Every time I go on Instagram, someone's talking about it, even on their YouTube posts and all that, and also on X as well. Like, everybody's like, yo, can we please have painted wheels? People really want this. I do not understand why it's not a thing yet. Funny part is, I'm also starting to wonder, is it ever really going to be a thing? I'm sure everyone does know this, but again, back in the Crew 1, this was legit the exact same wheel colors, and also the same wheels we have right now. They transferred to the Crew 2, same colors and all that stuff. And another example, the Agoista. Now, I probably did say that wrong, but hear me out, though, because these are probably some of my favorite colored wheels in the entire game. Check these out. They are legit fully orange finish. Look how nice these look, man. Imagine being able to paint wheels like this on other vehicles. They would look so dang dope. And it really does make me think about Need for Speed a lot. Now, I do understand this is probably going to be an old hypercar from the Crew 2, but still, those wheels are still going to be fully painted. Another good example of this, and the final one I'm going to give because I don't want to keep yapping about this, but I really do see so many people talking about it, guys. I had to make the video. That is going to be the Rallycross vehicles here. These all have really nice white painted wheels. Check those out. I know for a fact you cannot get finishes like that in the other vehicles on this game, which is insane. Let's move over to the other Ford Focus. Kind of same thing there. Moving over to the lovely Lancia, guys, also going to be a really nice white colored finish wheel there. You can also change them, and who would want this or that? Let's click on that real quick and try to do a white color. Yeah, you can't even do that, so that's kind of the issue. Could do the wheel sizes, cool, I guess, but if we do go back to the other wheels on this vehicle, though, check that out. Like, you cannot get anything close to the color of these. Like, it really is ridiculous. Now, I do understand that I was saying earlier that I think, like, maybe a small theory is maybe you can't paint the wheels because then you'd match the Summit cars and all that, and they don't want that stuff, but to be honest, though, I really don't think that's the case. I kind of think it's along the line of maybe they just aren't doing this for some odd reason. I don't know why that is, but you can definitely see this a lot in the Rallycross vehicles. A lot of them have nice painted white wheels, and you can't do that on any of the other cars in the game. It just really doesn't make any sense. Now, I don't know if, again, it's going to be maybe they just don't want to do it, maybe they can't do it. Honestly, I have no clue, but I gotta admit, I highly doubt it's going to have to do it like the Summit cars being unique with painted wheels, so then that way we can't actually paint them. I don't really think that's the case, but it does kind of make your brain basically go everywhere because looking at cars like, for example, the Lancia here, look at this, man. These are nice and yellow matching the car, but what if you're like, yo, what if I want different wheels? Okay, well, let's add these to it and go with yellow. Yeah, yeah, yellow. Those are going to match the car nicely, don't y'all think? Let's see this, or we can go with this. Honestly, a huge difference. Besides all of that, though, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Why do y'all think we do not have painted wheels or even new wheels in the game yet? It really is insane considering these are the same wheels we had back in the Crew 1, the same coloring scheme. Honestly, something just doesn't add up here.